Hello. So today we're going to consider a part of the questionnaire. So if you still remember, we considered the life satisfaction scale questionnaire. And part one of the questionnaire is asking for the personal information of the respondent. So the age, the sex, current relationship status, socioeconomic status, and all profile variables that you like to place as part of your questionnaire can be presented under the respondents of the study in chapter number 3. So to do that, so we have here the encoded data of our personal information, the age, sex, socioeconomic status. So we're going to come up with frequency and percent count distribution. So to do that, we will follow the same procedure when we constructed frequency count for our life satisfaction in our previous video. So let us consider, for example, age. So the obtained values here or the gathered informations are actual age. So what we need to do is to come up also with a range, because if we will consider all these scores, the table will be very long. So what or lengthy. So what we're going to do is to consider, for instance, a bin. So for the bin, we will consider 20, 25, 35, 40. So by inspection, so we have values below 20. We also have 40. Or you can consider what's the minimum and what is the maximum value as your guide. So to do that, it is equal sign minimum open parenthesis and then select our data. So the minimum is 18 and the maximum is equal to max open parenthesis again select. So it's 18 to 40 years old. So which means our constructed bin 20 means 20 and below, 21 to 25. This is 26 to 35. 40 represents 36 to 40. So if you remember, what we considered here is the upper limit. So to count for 20, 25, 35, and 40, we're going to consider the data analysis. So just click data analysis under histogram. So this is the histogram. Click OK. So let's select. So you have to select the age, and for the bin range, we're going to select 20 to 40. So again, I did not consider the label, so I don't need to check for this. So it's okay not to place the chart output. Then click OK. So in a separate table or in a separate sheet, so we have here 20, 25, 35 to 40. This means that, so if we will now edit this table, so let's make this bigger. So this is the age bracket, and we have the frequency, and it's also compute for the percent. So 20 is 20 and below. This is 21 to 25, 26 to 35, 36 to 40. And let us consider total. So equal to sum and then close parenthesis. So we have a total of 100. So obviously this represents again 16%, 24%, 40%, 20% for a total of 100%, because you know that the formula here is 16 divided by 100 times 100% to get the percent. So if, for example, we have a different set of tables, so let's have 15, 14, 13, 12, and the sum, for example, is 54. So which means the percent, if this is, assuming that this is the frequency, to compute for the percent, so this is equal sign, just select 15 over the total is 54. So you can write 54, then click OK. But to convert this into percent, so let's go back, times, that's asterisk times 100. And we can edit this into two decimal places only. Okay, so which means if there are 15 respondents who belong to 20 and below, and there are 54 total respondents, that is 37.78. But of course, we will consider the original data. So we will use this. So let us transfer this under, so as mentioned, this will be placed under the respondents of the study. So in the research methodology part of your paper, so usually this is chapter 3, or it can be chapter 2 if it's in IMRAD format. So under respondents of the study, you can place this table. And then let's also consider all other tables that will also represent other profile variable like the socioeconomic status and the sex. So we're going to use the same procedure, but for sex we used 1 and 2, but we know that 1 represents male and 2 represents female because that is the given, it's the given codes for male and female. For current relationship status, we also provided a codes here, 1 and 2. For socioeconomic status, so we have 1, income is very little, 2, income is very little, until 5, we have a lot of money. So let us do the same procedure, but now we will consider, of course, the data for sex. So let's copy this. Let's select it. And then for the bin range will be also edited into 1, 2. And click OK. So we have 50 male, 50 female. So if we edit this, 1 represents male, 2 represents female. So just like the same procedure again presented, so 4%. So the total is equal to 100. And again, just to emphasize, this is completed by equal sign. Select this 50 all over the total 100 times 100. Okay. This is set. So we can again transfer this in our document. Next, let us also consider, aside from sex, we have the SES. So how many codes do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can just add this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So data analysis, histogram, click OK, click socioeconomic status, and let's change this to 1 to 5. Then click OK. Okay, so let us just double check if this is equal to 100. Percent, again, equal sign, select 17 all over. What is the total? It's 100 multiplied by 100. So we can actually, this is the socioeconomic status. We can edit this in our Microsoft Word. Let's go back to the questionnaire. So what is one? Income is very little, not always. So we can use this and place it here. But we have to expand our table. And the next, income is little, not enough for the family. That is the number 2. Okay, let's see if it's in the correct row. Number 3, let us also copy this. Number 4, and number 5. So this is our frequency distribution table for socioeconomic status. Then let's go back. So what variables are not yet done? Okay, so everything is set. So we just considered age, sex, and socioeconomic status. You can also come up with one single table that will consider all of these variables. So we can name this as table 1, age of the respondents. And then you can edit our table so that it will appear like this. So the one used in journals. Or we can also expand it if you want, or make the size smaller. So it's up to you. So if you will consider this as table 1, you can also consider this as table 2, and also the socioeconomic as table 3. So you can describe now the profile of the variables by saying, for example, that so for this data, most of the respondents belong to age bracket 26 to 35 years old. So there are equal numbers of male and female respondents. So you can consider all of those in respondents of